Good morning, everyone. Our topic for today is about planetary networks, which is the climate change. Under this is the effects of consumption and production patterns to climate change, the effects of climate change, and the steps to address the problems of climate change. Okay. So the era of globalization certainly contributed in changing the landscape of the world and its inhabitants. Amid this growth and advancement in technology, the environment seems to bear and suffer the consequences. Every day, we are confronted with issues and problems related to the environment. The Asian climate change is one concrete manifestation and realization that the age of globalization and the rapid industrial and technological advancement has taken its toll on the natural environment. Okay, so what is climate change? So it is also called global warming. It refers to the rise in average surface temperatures on Earth. An overwhelming scientific consensus maintains that climate change is due primarily to the human use of fossil fuels, which releases carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the air. It is also a change of climate which is attributed directly or indirectly to human activity that alters the composition of the global atmosphere. And it is based on the United Nations Forum Convention on the Climate Change. Okay. So under climate change, we have greenhouse effect. So it is the trapping of the sun's warmth in a planet's lower atmosphere due to the greater transparency of the atmosphere to visible radiation from the sun than to infrared radiation emitted from the planet's surface. Okay. So what we have experiencing today, it's because of the thinning of the ozone layer. So, natatrap yung init ng araw sa planeta natin which can cause a greenhouse effect. Okay. So, because of this, there's an increase in the water level that our Earth contains. So, unti-unti nang namemelt yung yellow or icebergs because of increasing degree of heat na nararamdaman natin every day. Okay, so we have seven effects of climate change. You're already seeing. So climate change isn't something that's happening in 10 or 20 years. It's happening now. So here are the six effects of climate change you've already seen. Number one, the longer, more intense allergy seasons. So, yan. So, sa malalamig na lugar like Japan, tuwing nag-change ang weather nila, they usually prefer to wear a mask. But today, because of COVID, na wala nang pinipiling panahon ang pagsusot ng face mask. Then next we have, okay, more common, more severe and more long-lasting heat waves. So here in the Philippines, we already experience extensive heat, specifically during summer, right? So these extreme heat and heat waves have happened since the beginning of the time. But across the board, climate change is making heat waves more common, severe, and long-lasting. So heat waves can become so intense that our roads actually melts. Next, we have wildfires causing damage to our landscapes and our communities as well as our health. So, it happened in Amazon. So, nagkaroon doon ng wildfire and sobrang percent na damage during that time. Loss of life and habitats. Maraming naapektuhan. So, wildfires are devastating communities around the world. From the billion-dollar destruction they cause to the cost of lost plant, animal, and even human life. So these devastating natural disasters are scaring our landscapes. Next, we have hurricanes are becoming more likely and more dangerous. So around the world, average sea surface temperatures are rising. So as seas get warmer, they add more water vapor and heat energy into the atmosphere. So this extra heat and water just happens to be the perfect fuel to hurricanes, and in the right conditions can make dangerous storms even more powerful. Next, we have more climate related mass migration. So we already discussed the migration. So the climate change is already prompting an increase in migration, with people being forced to leave their homes because of drought, flooding, and other climate related disasters. Next, we have diseases are spreading more easily. So disease carrying insects thrive with warmer than average temperatures. So extreme heat waves and heavy rains. So climate change is also creating ideal conditions for waterborne pathogens like bacteria, viruses, and protozoa, which flourish in warmer waters. Okay. And so, what are the ways to control these problems? So, these are the things that we can do. Number one, reduce energy consumption. Next, travel green. Next is watch your water use. Next is reduce waste and plant more trees. Ayan. Okay, so we have what you call the three R's. So I know most of you are familiar with the meaning of this. Even the elementary students knows this. So the reduce, reuse, recycle, and hopefully we are applying this in our daily lives and routine. So with this simple act, which is reducing the amount of the Earth's resources that you use, and don't just bin it, it could someone else use it. Okay, so reuse could uh, you can reuse the materials and made into something new, and it is called the recycle. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for listening. Hope you learned a lot from our discussion today. Comment your name, section, plus a short key takeaway about our topic. See you all on our next lecture.